Luis Diaz.
Outstanding, Dan.
Good again. Really, really good again. And another one, we spoke about it briefly, he's come in for criticism in recent weeks, rightly or wrongly, whatever you stand on that. Personally, I think there's mitigating circumstances as to why he's not been quite at it. But also, I understand it, because when you look at Luis Diaz that arrived at Liverpool to the one we've seen this season, it's chalk and cheese, essentially. However, having said that, I think 2024 Luis Diaz, included the Newcastle game and tonight, is much more like Luis Diaz that we fell in love with to begin with, because he's threatening, he just looks more sharp-minded and quick to make his decision, because he was almost second-guessing himself for a while. But I think tonight, and of course last week in the Newcastle game, as I mentioned, everything he did was just that little bit sharper. And of course tonight as well, he does it in two different positions. So real sort of statement display actually from Diaz. And when you are looking for people to step up in Salah's absence, and the front line is slightly more threadbare than it once was, you need people to say, okay, no, I can do this, and he was one of them.
Yeah, he was. And for me, it was when he switched to the right hand side where we saw just how good Luis Diaz can be over there. We were looking at it early doors, weren't we, about whether he'd actually played on the right for us. And it turns out he's had 2 starts over there according to transfer market. But tonight he looked like a fella who can play the right hand side. And if Nunes, who we spoke about earlier, was that out ball on the left, and Diaz became the out ball on the right hand side, there was that one where he was dribbling and he sort of between 2 men and tried to get a pass across the box to 2 lads coming in, and just couldn't get it because of good defending, and it was a tough situation. But the finish tonight, and Ramsdale will be disappointed that you shouldn't be beating a near post. You're not saving that. Doesn't matter who you are. There's only one goalkeeper in the world who's got a chance of saving that, and he wouldn't be stood on his line for it, by the way. He'd be coming out, and he unfortunately plays for Diaz's side, of course. It's a brilliant finish, and that might just be that little sort of, you look for moments in a player's career, don't you, to put sort of New Year, bang, end of that, put all that shit behind me, put the injury behind me, horrible injury, taken out for most of the year, of course, put my dad's kidnapping behind me. I've got a football club that believe in me in terms of Liverpool. They've put their arms around me while all this shit's been going on. Now it's time to show them what I can do. And I think tonight we saw the best of Luis Diaz.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I echo everything you just said there. I think he was outstanding again. And you're right, it's almost as if he has drawn a line under what had gone on in 2023. Probably hated the majority of 2023, if truth be told. But you're right, he's still, at times, obviously the Luton game, when he comes up with that big moment later on, he still managed to put everything to one side, but there was always felt like something was holding him back. But just these last 2 performances, as I mentioned, we've seen the very best of him, and I think he got taken off. It might have been the Boxing Day game at Burnley, forgive me if I'm slightly wrong there, and he looked really frustrated, and it was almost as if he knew he was nowhere near his A game. And ever since that, it's almost like that has been a defining moment whereby he's been taken off and he's gone, I'm not at it again. And ever since that, he's just been absolutely outstanding. Yeah, and I think tonight was definitely one of them before, but he was quite unlucky before he scored. I think Ramsdale gets down well to save one low down of him, so that was his left foot. But yeah, I think we see him the more rounded version of Luis Diaz now. I think we've mentioned it throughout the show about the lads and the work rate and the willingness to put the effort in. I've never faulted Luis Diaz's work rate and effort. He absolutely goes to the well time and time again, but you're right, that quality in those defining moments is just sometimes lacked of late, but tonight it was there in abundance.
Yeah, and if he can start to chip in with goals, I think Liverpool start to perform even better, because a free scoring Luis Diaz takes us up a notch, because it's not just Mo Salah on the right hand side. We're at our absolute peak. Mane and Salah are both scoring goals. We need someone from that left hand side to be able to score the goals. I know he gets his goal from the right hand side, of course. Nunes, for all the threat over on the left, didn't really look like scoring maybe while he was out there. Diaz has the ability, and he has chances. He's just got to start to put them away. I think he dilly-dallied on the ball a little bit at times in the first half where he could have got shots off, but maybe that's good defending by Saliba and the other Gabriel and the other Arsenal defenders. But second half, again, he just looked like a different player. And again, it's somebody who's got to take his opportunities, because someone's got to step up while Mo's away, and maybe that's where we're wrong, Dan. We've been thinking about who's going to step up. Maybe they're all going to fucking step up while Mo's away. Yeah. And maybe they should keep stepping up when Mo comes back as well. Because we've got fucking 4 trophies to win here. And I know it's far too early to talk about it. But while we're in the competitions, let's keep talking about it.
Well, exactly that, yeah. And when you've got the firepower that we have, because we've all said it since day dot of this season, one of Liverpool's greatest strengths is we've got goals throughout the side, but particularly in the attacking department, because there's 5 lads there vying for 3 spots, albeit Cody Gakpo occasionally fills into midfield like we've seen tonight. But when Salah's present, of course, there's 5 lads who there's only 3 places to pick from, and all of them, therefore, should be trying to play at the peak of their powers week in, week out, and I don't think that's quite always been the case. They've always been trying, forgive me, but they're not always at it. But when they all become at it at the same time, Liverpool look fearsome. And that's when we can start talking about quads and stuff like that.
And if we can defend like we did tonight, and the front players are firing, and McAllister's defending well, and we know what he can do on the ball, and Sober slides back, can't we win the fucking league?
Try and stop us.